I don't know if it's 100% agreed upon at this time, but I wanted to talk about Vancouver Canucks hockey and the former captain that departed our team on Friday, Quinn Hughes. I'll open this video up with a comment on the R Canucks subreddit that goes out there and shows an idea that I think a lot of fans are starting to feel inside and out. I say a lot, not all. You're free to disagree with this if you want, but here's the comment at hand. Ice Pomegranate went out there and said, Quinn Hughes was the worst Canucks captain since Mark Messier. Not a leader. The team imploded under him, and he had a foot out the door the whole time. He cared about himself and his success, not Vancouver. Now, why is this post being posted, and why does it have 29 upvotes, Why are people going out there and talking about Quinn Hughes and this idea that he was the worst captain since Messier? Well, I don't want to toot my own horn, but we did make a video earlier in the weekend asking whether or not Quinn Hughes was a good captain for the Vancouver Canucks, so you're free to go out there and check that one out yourself. But the reason Quinn Hughes' captaincy conversations have started up once more is because of a tweet made by Taj this morning. Take a look at this. It's what Michael Russo, Minnesota Wild insider, said on the Worst Seats podcast earlier this weekend. He said this, that they knew for about 3 to 4 days that most likely the deal would have been Minnesota. One reason why is because Pat Brisson was sort of helping broker the deal. He was allowed to talk to other teams on whether or not Quinn Hughes would extend and what type of contract. He made no promises. Russo also said that Quinn knew the packages and what was offered by other teams. Now you might be wondering, that's not that bad, right? Well, the next tweet in the series of tweets is the one that got a lot more attention. Russo also said here, Brock Besser said when they all got the notifications on the bus and Quinn wasn't even there, that it just became silent on the bus. Everybody just couldn't believe it. Russo mentioned only a couple of players knew about the trade beforehand. And that top tweet is what's getting a lot of Canucks fans all up in arms this Tuesday morning/afternoon. The idea that when Quinn Hughes got traded, it caught all the Vancouver Canucks, or most of them at least, so off guard. And he wasn't even with the team when the trade went down. Now, there are a number of folks going out there and responding to this in a way that I think is kind of interesting. Let's go out there and read some of the replies. Quinn Hughes not being there is so symbolic of his tenure as the Canucks captain. He didn't have the guts to face the music. You also had the comments on the R Canucks subreddit. This was posted on there and it's been since deleted, but the top comment on the R Canucks sub was this. Your captain leaving without saying anything tends to have that effect. We all know that he was only made captain in the first place as a ploy to keep him in Vancouver. It's just non-stop mind games and drama in this locker room, and I'm glad he can let his hair down and play hockey again. This drama around the team has got to stop, because it sheds its star players like lizard skin. That's a weird thing to say, but I'm sticking to it. Another reply says this does seem like the case. He lacks the maturity to be a captain. Incredible player, but obviously not a leader. He left without saying goodbye to the team? Gosh darn. I think this explains some of the lack of goodbye messages from teammates on social media, especially for their captain. Which, of course, it's not everything, but notably, there were some goodbye messages from Miller, despite how that ended as well. And finally, I don't know if I'm salty, but I think it's pretty messed up that your supposed best friends found out because you weren't on the team bus. Quinn told the media he had a feeling that Buffalo was his last home game, but all the players thought it was happening in the offseason. It makes sense why Demko and Garland seem so pissed in interviews. Maybe things just lost in translation here? I'll give the ex-captain the benefit of the doubt. And another reply says, "This is beyond messed up. Management, especially Benning, failed Quinn Hughes, but he quit on us and his best friends. In hindsight, good riddance. We need to build some culture here. You can't be acting like this when you're the captain of an NHL team." And then finally, you have the extra commentary on where he was and why everything went down the way it did. Quinn Hughes was not on the Vancouver Canucks team bus because he traveled to New Jersey earlier than the rest of his team so he could spend more time with family in New Jersey before the game. While he was in New Jersey, he got traded. And you can debate and say, okay, well, that's a good thing, right? Like, he went to New Jersey with the intention of playing in New Jersey, which means he planned to be a Canuck, right? Until you learn that, hey, Hughes said himself that he packed extra because he was expecting to be moved on the trip. Players are all saying they're shocked and expected this to be an off-season thing. Finally, last few comments over here. Great player, crappy captain. It's a pathetic thing to do to your best friends. The funny thing is, he shared his plans with Tocchet but let his boys out to dry. There's no other way of saying it. Quinn gave up on his team and his teammates. Damn, this is pretty lame from Quinn. I wish him the best, but everything that's coming out kind of makes me glad he's gone. I've lost a bit of respect for him. I love Hughes and always will, but that is horrific behavior from a captain. That's what I'd expect a Kane or a forward who hasn't been around the team much to do, and I still assume they'd let everyone know. The captain doesn't let the team know he's off the team? Heck, man. Now, I wanted to say one more thing before we end this video off. It is very fair to be frustrated with the way that a captain left his organization, especially in this way. He knew that he was getting traded, he didn't tell anybody about it, he packed extra so that he didn't have to go back and forth to Vancouver, which, by the way, his mom did end up going to Vancouver and going into his apartment to clean up the rest of his stuff. But he did all this without the rest of the team knowing, and they ended up finding out on a team bus when he wasn't there that he ended up getting traded. You can say, and I think the only benefit of the doubt that you can toss Quinn Hughes' way is that, hey, if he told anybody that he was getting traded and that he knew he was getting traded, after the Buffalo game he said, yeah, that was probably my last game. Like, he felt it already. If he told anybody, then there is a chance it could have leaked, there is a chance that leverage could have been reduced, there is a chance that it could not have gotten done that way. That makes sense. But you're the gosh darn captain, man. Like, say what you want, oh, Quinn Hughes owes nothing to the Vancouver Canucks. He plays 30 minutes a night for them. He's their best defenseman. He's still the top guy. Yeah, he didn't quit on the team. He was still going out there and playing. Well, yes, okay. But this guy was not playing to his best. He was not trying anymore. He was checked out. It was obvious he was checked out, and it was obvious he was already done with this team. Combine this with the body language conversations off the ice, the things that he would say to the media, the dismissal of comments about his future, and how all of a sudden in Minnesota he's like, yeah, I'm open to staying here. Yeah, like, good core, good team, they traded for me, and he's smiling in the interviews now. This guy didn't want to be a Vancouver Canuck. And I think that's the ultimate conclusion we can say here. He was given the captaincy because the Canucks wanted him to stick around, but it ultimately didn't work. So with that in mind, I want you to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you feel about the Quinn Hughes leaving situation? And do you think it's fair to say that he quit on this team? It's true that management failed him. It's true that they wasted a generational defenseman talent. It's true that they couldn't surround him with a team that was capable of winning. But I think it's also true that he gave up. Thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.